just has vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. 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 Lick my lips as you walk away. There's nothing left except an empty space. Disappear without a trace. Your memory leaves a bad aftertaste. Ooh, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. Ooh, you're dead to me. 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 You're dead to
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to late to drift away. I find my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again. And as I fall, I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting numb, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down. From the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below. And I don't know where I should go. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by.
Alright, welcome everyone. We're here on Prophecy Cup 2 hosting Leftover Lads versus Guardians of the Rift, and this is going to be game 1 starting in a moment. It's just me for the time being. My name is Escapist, and yeah, we'll see how this game goes. We have Leftover Lads currently sitting in 9th place on the standings, but they do have 2 games left to play, so they could potentially still grab the last playoff spot. And they do need to win this game, or excuse me, they do need to win this entire series in order to grab that finals playoff spot. And Guardians of the Rift are in the same position, essentially. They need to win this series as well in order to have a chance of qualifying for playoffs. They're currently at 3-5, just coming off of a 2-0 victory versus Vortex, which are the 6th place team currently, and trying to hold on to their last playoff spot. Yeah, so definitely a hype game for tonight here on Prophecy Cup 2. And the reason why the reason why Leftover Lads are unable to ban is because they're using an E-sub in the AD carry position. So they do at least have their starting top laner, jungle, and mid laner. And they have their starting support as well, O2nex. And Noguera is actually the former support of Guardians of the Rift, actually stepping in here to help the Leftover Lads play this last series. Or one of their last series, excuse me, and she's actually a support main, but she has some AD carry games. She looks like she's played Jinx and solo queue about 70 games so far this season, so she does have some experience playing AD carry. Yeah, Nightbot's pretty sensitive on this channel, unfortunately. I've been trying to remind whoever is in charge of it to change it or get rid of Nightbot here, but it hasn't happened yet. Because I think it's kind of hard to change it. Anyway, seeing 3 pretty powerful bans for the solo laners. Here, Akali, Irelia, and Vladimir taken off the table. Cairo Jen is their mid laner, has a pretty prolific resume of Vladimir games in solo queue. About 225 games for him. So they definitely want to take that away. He plays a lot of Akali as well, so don't want to see that from Leftover Lads. And Guardians are going to be able to grab Sivir and Sion for Spectacular and Magic Toenail, and we saw last night Magic Toenail go deathless on Sion in both his games versus Vortex, so he played tremendously well, did just about everything he possibly could to give his team the best advantage to win the game. And him having the Sion here again shows that he's really comfortable in the champion, and he thinks it's a good champion to propel his team to victory. Leftover Lads grabbing that Camille, Bard, and Xin Zhao, meaning one of those 2 champions are going into a solo lane. And it looks like the Bard is the preferred option here for O2nex in this game, which is a pretty nice champion to pick into Sivir because of the amount of auto damage that he does, and Sivir's inability to block that with her spell shield. So we'll see now what Guardians of the Rift decide to ban away here. And they do take away that Jinx from Nogira. And that is a great ban because it denies Nogira the champion that she would be most comfortable in the AD carry position. Leftover Lads does have 2 bans available to them for each game that they play with an E-sub. And a second AD carry ban coming out. Guardians of the Rift putting a lot of pressure onto the marksman position here. Syndra and Morgana taken away by Leftover Lads here. And that's going to allow Spectacular to lock in his support pick for his support. And it's going to be Rakan. Kai'Sa being hovered here by Nogira would be a nice pick for them. Kind of... Oh wow, we're actually going to see a misfortune though. So perhaps Leftover Lads taking a page out of the book that Guardians of the Rift employ. They frequently pick the misfortune. And it's a champion that seems to actually scale fairly well now because of how useful those misfortune ults can be in team fights. But obviously the reason you pick misfortune is for that early game pressure and lots of poke damage. Very oppressive in the laning phase if able to get off a lot of poke. Paired with the Bard, it's going to be quite a nightmare for the Guardians of the Rift bot lane. And we'll see if they're able to stay healthy enough in lane to farm it out safely. We're going to see Echo and Swain being picked up for both the mid laners here. And I'm going to add to their arsenal of ability power, obviously. Echo may be a underwhelming pick versus the Swain, who is a champion that wants to get in your face and seems to deal the most damage when he's able to step up. And he's going to get many chances to do that versus the Echo here. The only concern that Swain has to have is the early game pressure that Nidalee and Echo can concentrate onto him. And if Swain does end up building that Rod of Ages, it's going to take him a little bit extra time to ramp up and reach his power spikes. But again, Swain, very powerful champion at the moment, does a lot of area of effect damage, is fairly easy to operate. But we'll see how Cryogen does on the champion. So Camille, as we said before, one of these champions going into solo lane, and it is going to be the Camille being put into the top lane for Leftover Lads. And we'll see if Roxas can put enough pressure on Magic Toenail to make the pick warranted. Thanks, Tasek. Yeah, should be able to solo cast this fairly well. Done this a few times now. It's all about keeping your blips moving, keeping a track of the action. And we get a few bold. We get our first bold prediction by Nadette in the chat here. Cryogen is carrying the game for Leftover Lads. Couple of aggressive summer spells as well being chosen by Leftover Lads. They've opted to take Ignite in both support and mid lane roles, so definitely a bloodthirsty looking team from them. Their team composition favors a lot of skirmishing in the top side early on in the game. If Swain is able to get ahead here, he should have the ability to support his jungler in any ganks that he decides to put in either of the side lanes. But without the teleport, he's going to be a little bit less able to get to those side lanes. Echo taking barrier here is pretty fortuitous. Perhaps he was expecting Kyrogenis to take the ignite, and so had opted to take the barrier to negate that spell. So he lucks out a little bit there. And on the red side, Guardians of the Rift, they seem to have taken a fairly well-balanced composition with a lot of engage. So they may be very willing to fight this heavy skirmish team of leftover lads at a lot of stages in the game, especially when they hit level 6 on Scion. You're going to have a lot of engage tools with Sivir ultimate as well, and Rakan popping his ultimate as well. But I think the big stories are going to be how well Kyrogenis can hold his own in the mid lane for the early game, and how well Nidalee can pressure each lane, because obviously Nidalee, champion that you pick for the early game, and to get the ball rolling early on. And we get a first look at each of the keystones that each player has taken. Xin Zhao opting for the phase rush here. So a slightly different take from Honor Jungle this time around. And Misfortune actually taking the Dark Harvest, which I think is pretty standard at the moment. He's going to benefit from stacking those souls that she picks up off of cannon minions and champion deaths. And otherwise pretty standard from all players from Guardians of the Rift. I don't really see any reason to go other keystones or runes. But yeah, if you're just joining us, this is game 1 of Guardians of the Rift versus the Leftover Lads. And both teams here currently out of playoff spots, but they still have the ability to qualify for the playoffs as long as they win their remaining games. And for Leftover Lads, that means going 4-0 essentially for their final 2 series. And this is the last series for Guardians of the Rift, so the last time we get to see them in the regular season. So they will have to look for a 2-0 victory here as well if they want to have the best chance of making the playoffs. And then they're going to have to be rooting for... Well, they're going to have to root against Vortex in Vortex's next game, because Vortex does need to lose their next game as well in order for any changes in the standings to happen. And Guardians of the Rift actually coming off a nice victory versus Vortex last night. They won both of their games on red side, so they're very comfortable on this side of the map. Tasek chucking a spear over the blue side, or excuse me, over the blue buff here to see if anyone's standing in that brush. So nothing hit, so they're gonna assume that no one's on the blue buff.
Minions have spawned.
Just some early vision going down here. A couple of trinkets being expended by the blue side team. Leftover Lads here getting some early vision. Tasek gonna start up this blue buff, and Xin Zhao's gonna copy that bot side start with a red buff start on their blue side. And unfortunately, we're gonna get a pause here. It's very difficult for me to tell who actually initiates the pause. But usually the chat can give us clues. Okay, Honor Jungle pause the game, so that's a few seconds down for them. And we'll see how this emergency sub does in the bot lane. Nogueira gonna be trying to help out Leftover Lads here in an emergency sub capacity. Doesn't normally play AD carry, but is on a champion that doesn't really require a lot of experience or mechanical ability. Misfortune being known for her ability to press E and then R in the late game team fights, not really have to worry so much about positioning as much as it is just aiming that ultimate and farming it up in the early game. We're actually going to see a bit of a control gank here in the mid lane. It's going to force Babs away, but Taysac's sitting on a ward here, and Leftover Lads know that she's in here. Honor Jungle expending that flash to slow down Taysac. Oh, it's going to be actually rooted up by Kyrogenesis, and he's going to get first blood. So, well coordinated by the Leftover Lads jungle mid duo here. And that came about because they had superior vision in the mid lane there. Honor Jungle looking for a steal onto the Raptors here. He doesn't have flash. Babs is looking to maybe take him away, but it's not going to be able to do that. Magic Total taking extremely low, has to flash out in top lane. He has Corrupting Pot charges burned, but not going to be very healthy. Roxas doing very, very well here to put pressure in the top lane. And Taysac, having given away that first blood, is going to slow him down a little bit in his early game. Roxas still does have flash. Looks like he took a little bit of extra damage though off of the wave in the past couple seconds. And Kyrogen is having a very nice time here, up about 5 CS, actually forcing Babs' flash out as well there. Looks like that root would have hit. Darquise looking for potentially some pressure in bot lane. Gets a ward down into the bush. Will be able to spot out Xin Zhao if he does try to do a lane gank. Roxas being taken about half health in top lane. Now under a considerable amount of pressure from the Scion actually. Following that level 3 skirmish that they had where Toenail had to flash away.
Reckless.
But we do see that Roxas does still have his teleport available. Magic Toenail does not, so that teleport advantage could come into play if there are any fights that break out across the map. Taysac looking for a gank in the bot lane. Gonna come in here. Dark Quest gonna force away a flash from Nogueira. Magic Toenail in the top lane, still doing quite a lot of damage. You're going to see Taysac being pushed away here. Never move, hits on to Babs. He's going to be rooted up here. Vision of Vampire going to land, but it's not going to be enough damage from Kyrogenesis here. Bard actually roaming into the mid lane here. Will he look for this portal? He's going to flash over. Going to pop the barrier from Babs. Kyrogenesis finished that off with a nice Q from him. And that was well done. Sneaky little play there from both the support and jungle of Leftover Lads. This is going to be a 2-0 scoreline at the moment. Taysak a little bit behind here in tempo, and Italy, who's behind in tempo, has a very difficult time doing anything effectively. Does land a spear onto Cryogenis though, but he's quite tanky even at this early stage in the game. Nidalee not being able to complete any AP items yet, just has that Skirmisher Saber and a pair of boots. So it'll be interesting to see now if Guardians can take a little bit more of the control back in this early game. That's what they're really gonna need to do to make sure that this game doesn't start getting out of hand. But at the moment, it looks like the Swain is going to be quite the formidable foe. And Nogueira still on that off roll, doing a nice job here of staying even in CS just about. We're going to see actually a gank here from Honor Jungle. Dark Quest trying to knock up Honor Jungle, but not going to quite hit. Tunix looking for the stun. Going to stun up Spectacular. He does manage to flash and heal away though. And meanwhile, Cryogen is looking for that Vision of Empire in the mid lane. Bab's going to flash away. Or excuse me, E away. And Cryogen is actually expending both summoners that time. Oh, but Taysak is able to take advantage of the knowledge that Xin Zhao is away from top lane, and it's going to force Roxas to flash. Sion actually ulting, looking for that kill onto Roxas. Can Taysak hit this? Yes, he's going to hit that spear and take down Roxas. So that's going to be a kill for the Nidalee jungle. Definitely a nice pickup for her. Roxas does have teleport, will be able to get back to lane right away, but this means that Leftover Lads should be able to capture that Infernal Drake. Oh, but Bab's actually looking for a kill here in the mid lane. He's going to get it. Last turret shot does hit him, though, and it's going to take him out. So 1-for-1 in the mid lane. Spectacular ulting, looking for the recall interruption, but not going to be able to hit it. Magic Toenail has this lane fairly pushed into him still. Oh, Tunix having to portal away there. So at the end of the day, we're just seeing a few kills on multiple sides of the map here for both teams, and at the end of the day, we're just sitting at a 200 gold difference cumulatively. Infernal Drake, though, going to help out the Leftover Lads' cause. They'll definitely welcome that additional AD and AP as the time goes on here, and it really starts to impact the fights. Just looking at the relative HPs of each lane turret, and it doesn't look like any turret besides maybe the mid lane is under any pressure at the moment. Rift Herald going to be spawning in the next 30 seconds, so we'll see if one of these teams make a play for either Rift Herald or a combined effort on one of the outer turrets. Dark Quest actually coming in here looking for a nice engage onto both of the bot laners, the Leftover Lads, and it's going to be a kill for them. Nicely done by the Rakan there. Taysak able to help out in the jungle capacity as well, so Spectacular picking up that kill, and we're going to see a bit of a skirmish in both the solo lanes. Nidalee having recalled, but Honor Jungle does know that she's probably not able to assist in any of these fights should he be able to get a gank into mid lane or top lane. And he's actually going to get sprouted on that ward though, so Baz should be able to avoid a gank here in the mid lane. Taysak bypassing all of his camps, excuse me, to get some vision instead. Bab's playing with a little bit of fire here. He's not sure where Xin Zhao is. He doesn't have a lot of ward coverage on his right side, and Honor Jungle going to take advantage of that, but even though he stepped out that far, it didn't matter. We're going to see a Ultimate from Magic Toenail in the top lane. Meanwhile, we're going to have a fight on the bot side of the jungle here as well. Dark Quest getting almost caught out, but Roxas going to have to kite downwards. Spear going to miss just barely from Taysak. Nice sidestep by Roxas. Another spear just barely missing. Taysak in range now. Vision of Emperor going to slow Taysak down a little bit. He does have heal though. That last minute spear is going to just barely miss, and Bab's actually going to finish off the kill. Taysak takes the blast cone over, and this is a 3 versus 3 now, essentially. But Taysak going to actually throw a spear in here. It's actually a 4v3 if you count her. And it's just going to be 1 kill going over for Guardians of the Rift. Roxas having a bit of trouble now, trying to avoid the pressure that Taysak is putting onto the top laner. Dark Quest looking for an ult here, going to get the charm land onto Cryogenis. Cryogenis going to miss that root, but it might not have even mattered. So Babs gets himself another kill, and these teams are certainly looking very impressive to me, actually. Given that they're... Oh! Honor Jungle getting flashed on here. Nice stun. Biotunic's going to slow up Babs. He's going to pop that ultimate, though. And he's actually taking turret aggro, and I think Otunix's ultimate just saved him there. Babs was definitely going to have to expend his barrier because he was still taking the turret aggro for some reason. And Bard ultimate actually puts him into the stasis and takes him away from the turret damage. Roxas looking for a kill on the Magic Toenail here. He does have flash, so he's looking for that. And he's able to get away over the wall. That's a tough flash to make, but he was able to do it, just putting his character model right up next to the wall. But yeah, given that these teams are both 9th place and 7th place respectively, I think that they've shown that they're fairly competent here at skirmishing, and they seem to be prioritizing synergy with one another. They seem to be well practiced, actually. And for now, it's going to be a very close score line. Guardians of the Rift definitely having a slight edge, but it's still very close for sure. Both teams doing a very good job as well of controlling vision where they need it. Perhaps the only criticism you could make is that they haven't really cleared vision very well. But it seems like both supports have been fairly restricted in their movements thus far, so really emphasizing the ability to help out their AD carries in bot lane at the moment. Bab's looking really aggressive here for this kill. Cryogen is going to miss that root, but he's going to push away Babs, and Babs does have ultimate available. He has Barry as well, but he's kiting downward towards his bot laners here. Taysak going to try to help out his mid laner. Oh, stun actually going to land onto Roxas just barely. We're going to have a really clustered fight here, and it's going to be double kill for Nogir, or for Pyrogenes. Triple kill now for the Swain. Magic Toenail just not able to show up quite early enough, and that's going to be him going down. So a 4-0 now. A near ace for Leftover Lads. Magic Toenail trying to get an exit kill there, but not able to. And this is an Infernal Drake actually spawning. It's going to be double Infernal for Leftover Lads, and that's going to be really, really strong for them. So the amount of trouble that Babs got into there in the mid lane, going for that aggressive trade onto Cryogen, has really cost his team the ability to win that fight. And ultimately, it was a nice play by the Xin Zhao, by Roxas and Honor Jungle to get into that fight early enough to assist. And yeah, they do pick up that Infernal Drake. Yeah, Nadette's bold prediction definitely coming true. Swain doing a lot of work here. Kyrogen is trying to carry this Leftover Lads team. And we can take a look at the gold differences for each position now, as actually we're going to see a fight breaking out. Honor Jungle going to slow up Tasek, but he's going to try to get away, but Cryogen does so much damage now. Honor Jungle taking really low. Bab's going to finish him off, so both junglers going down in that exchange. It's just top lane and mid laners now left alive. Bab's trying to kite away there, but going to get flashed on by Roxas. Babs wasn't even able to pop his ultimate there, and likely if he had, he would have still died. Wow, nice engage from Rakan there. Gonna get the ignite down. It's ticking. Oh, it's just barely saves her. So Otunix with that nice Bard ultimate saves his 80 carry. However, that does allow Guardians of the Rift spot lane to take control of this bot lane. And oh, Dark Quest flashing in, looking for the knockup. Not gonna hit it. Nogueira's gonna finish him off though. And we're actually going to get a channeled teleport here. Camille coming down in the bot lane, going to get the slow and the ultimate onto Spectacular, and that's going to be a dead Sivir. Nogueira taking about 100 HP, but does survive in the end, so nice reactionary play from Roxas there to get down to the bot lane and help his bot laners out a little bit. This should be a turret falling as well. Should be the second turret of the game for Leftover Lads. However, Guardians of the Rift trying to get both the top and mid lane outer turrets taken down as well, so it looks like that they'll be able to even up the turret numbers in the end. And there goes top lane outer. Dark Quest and Babs looking for some deep vision in the top side of the jungle here. Nogueira, maybe she's caught out a little bit. Dark Quest able to force Nogueira's Yumu's Ghost Blade away. But he's gonna get stunned here by that swing. So Dark Quest donates another death there. And Honor Jungle is going to pick up that Rift Herald buff. So 3 neutral objectives now to nothing. Spectacular does manage to pick up the last outer turret on the blue side though. So 3 turrets to nothing there. Or 3 turrets to 2, excuse me. And we're actually going to see a Tasek gank coming in here. Roxas looking for the kill onto Tasek. And he is able to pop him with the ultimate there. And actually Tasek not able to finish off Roxas either. So going to be a 1 for nothing. Nogueira going to add her damage and slowing ability into the mix, and Honor Jungle going to finish off Magic Toenail. And at the moment, it looks like a pretty clean execution now on the side of the Leftover Lads. They take down that final outer turret, and they're going to pop the Rift Herald in expectation of getting this tier 2 turret in the top lane. Meanwhile, Babs is pushing down the mid lane. He's going to get that second turret as well. But this Rift Herald's fairly healthy, and this is a 5-man push for Leftover Lads. 4-man now that Camille's back, but they've lost vision of Babs in the mid lane, so they're gonna recall here perhaps. Baron has just spawned, so Baron is now on the plate. No vision here for Guardians of the Rift. Will they face check here? Will they face check? Nope. Oh! They do see Babs running away though. And it's going to force his ultimate out. He's going to get all the way back to full health actually, but it might not matter. And it's going to be the mid laner for Guardians falling down there. Roxas looking for Magic Toenail. Oh, Roxas has gone a little bit too far here. Does manage to start this fight off, but he's going to go down. Mid lane turret does fall. There's an air drake about to spawn in about 15 seconds. So Guardians have to decide what they want to do here. Do they want to get some vision over Baron now, or do they want to finish off this Air Drake? Looks like they're going to actually choose the Air Drake. Two items now being completed by Nogira on the Misfortune. The Dust Blade of GotR gonna add to the lethality and burst damage that Misfortune can provide. Vision of Empire gonna slow down Magic Toenail here. Nogira with the red buff really slowing him down. This might be able to get Honor Jungle into range, but in the end, Scion just having to ultimate away. It looks like Guardians of the Rift are still unable to get any vision over this Baron buff, and it's going to cost them potentially the ability to contest this objective. Looks like Tasek actually coming out of base looking for a potential Baron steal. Otunic's going to try to keep her as far away from the Baron, but they're going to let her in actually. Nidalee looking like she's maybe looking for a steal here. Going to pop the stopwatch, but that's not going to be enough. She's going to go down, and that means Leftover Lads pick up the Baron. Roxas now being chased down on the side of the map. Nogira has to flash away. Bard does pop that ultimate. Going to have to force Babs away into an ultimate. Honor Jungle popping the stopwatch as well. Dark Quest here, though, with the charm. 3-man flash in from Spectacular. Going to get the Xin Zhao, but she's going to be really low health. Running away. Nogira gets a couple kills here. Double kill for her. So a 3-for-1. Leftover Lads taking that Baron down as well. Really chaotic fight from them, but even though there were some flashes have to be expended there, they do pick up the drag or the Baron, and they are able to walk away with a 6.5k gold lead here. Oh, Roxas does get his recall interrupted. The Tasek should be able to take out him here. So nicely done with a bit of extra vision there to finish off Roxas. That should really help them actually extend the duration that they are able to defend versus this Baron buff. And that means that Leftover Lads only have 3 Baron buffs on their members now. So they're gonna have one less tool available to them. And it means a lot because Roxas would like to have that Baron buff, get into a side lane against the Scion and push in an additional lane for free, but it's not going to be available to him. And this Baron buff is actually halfway gone now. And there hasn't been a great amount of usage from it. Tasek has been able to complete his Zanya's Hourglass, the second item for him, but it just feels like he's quite a ways away from building up a significant amount of ability power at the moment. And even if Guardians of the Rift does lose this game, they still have the ability to win the series and potentially stay in the playoff hunt. But they've put themselves in a very difficult situation here, because it is possible that they still win this series, but they still aren't able to qualify. And obviously Leftover Lads definitely having to win this series in order to stay alive in the playoff hunt. We're gonna actually see Babs throwing down into the bot lane here. It's gonna open up a possible dive in the mid lane though from Leftover Lads. And they also have a fair amount of engaged tools with the Xin Zhao and with the Bard ultimate as well, so we'll see what happens here. Now Babs is repositioned into the mid lane to try to help clear out mid waves. Baron buff has almost expired here. I believe this is one of their last waves, and yeah, it just expires, and not able to get any inhib turrets so far. There is some good vision though from Guardians of the Rift, so they will be able to see this roam by the members of Leftover Lads. It does mean bot lane inner turret falls. We're gonna see an ultimate from Bard here, looking just gonna be able to grab magic toenail, but he's really tanky, and that's gonna mean the fight just fizzles out. Spectacular popping the ultimate. Will it allow Dark Quest to get into range? No. Honor Jungle popping over the wall here onto Taysak. Taysak pops the Zonya's Hourglass. Bab's gonna take out Roxas actually. That's a 2 for nothing at the moment. Bab's gonna have to ultimate away. Oh, just barely ticking down to the ignite from Cryogenesis. Oh, massive ultimate popped from him. Triple kill. Looking for a 4th here. Maybe a pentakill even. Can he get it? Taysak actually gonna get slowed down here by Tunics. This could be a possible pentakill. Oh, but Tunics takes it with the ignite. Well turned around there by Leftover Lads, and that should be the game. They have a couple of Infernal Drakes here. They still have Cryogenesis alive, going to be doing a lot of damage, along with Nogira to these structures, so I think we're going to see a 1-0 in favor of Leftover Lads after this first game. And what ended up being a fairly dominating performance from them. They're actually going to opt to reset, though, as Spectacular is about to come up here with Dark Quest. But Cryogenesis putting on his carry pants this game, has 11 kills. Nogira doing all that she needs to do as well on the Misfortune, providing a ton of damage in these team fights. Staying safe, only has 1 death, and Otunex doing a really nice job too of not giving up any deaths himself. So we are going to have Xin Zhao starting up the bear or the dragon here. Oh, Roxas is going to find Taysak here. He doesn't have Zonya's Hourglass available, so he might be going down. That's a lot of damage from him. But is he caught out here? 4 members of Guardians of the Rift up into the top lane. That's going to be an exit kill for them. So Taysak sacrificing himself, ultimately able to take down that massive top laner in the Camille. And I think that's a trade that Guardians of the Rift will take every single day of the week. But again, we're seeing some complications with the minion waves that Sivir is able to deal with fairly well here. But that bot lane inhib being down with Baron spawning here is going to stretch Guardians of the Rift in ways that they did not want to stretch. We'll see if Magic Tunnel is able to get in here into this fight that might break out. He's opted to stay away from his bot lane here, which is, I think, a mistake because he does have teleport available. They're going to have to send someone back to defend that bot lane. And the only question is whether or not... Oh, wow, we're going to get engaged, actually, from Bard. Dark Quest and Taysak being put into stasis here, and Cryogenesis is going to finish off Taysak. That's their jungler going down, so they're not going to have a smite available for this potential contest, and we do see the minions in bot lane actually already get into the Nexus turret, so this should be a pretty easy Baron for Leftover Lads to take. Roxas getting in there just after the stun completes, so that's going to be Baron being taken by Leftover Lads, their second of the game. What are they going to make of this now? They do have that bot lane still pushing. Dark Quest, gonna face check, but is able to get out. Is Sivir strong enough to clear these minion waves? I don't think so. Taysak respawning here, but this is a very strong Leftover Lads squad at the moment, and given that Cryogenesis is full health, he can just do whatever he likes. So a ace for Leftover Lads, and really just a pretty simple fight for them. They take down the final structures here, and that's going to be Leftover Lads grabbing game 1 of this best of 3 series. So nicely done by Leftover Lads. Cryogenis definitely popping off that game. And we'll see now how both teams are able to go into game 2. And I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back. I'll get us in the lobby and move us on to game 2. Alrighty, so I've returned, and we're hopefully going to get this Game 2 underway off of an impressive performance from Leftover Lads in Game 1. And I think it was really, the story of the game was just the interplay between the mid lane junglers, Cryogenes and Honor Jungle, doing a lot of work, showing that they're superior in terms of coordination to the Guardians of the Rift jungle mid. And really it was just all about their bot lane holding on with the E-sub and contributing to the mid-game team fights, and they sort of just took the game away once they started getting Barons and were able to pick up a couple of Infernal Drakes as well. So Guardians of the Rift gonna have to up their game a little bit, really look for opportunities in the early game to punish the other team, or at least not fall so far behind. So it looks like both teams are ready now. We're going to start getting into Champion Select. Leftover Lads did have side selection for this game, and they have decided to keep blue side, so Guardians of the Rift going to play their 4th game in a row on red side. Perhaps even more in a row, I'm not sure. But I think both teams are very content with the sides that they have currently and how it will influence their drafts. Leftover Lads not being able to ban anything in the first round because they are using a E-sub. And so far, same bans, it seems like, from Game 1. And the Game 1 bans that Guardians of the Rift took for their first round were Irelia, Akali, and Vladimir, so it seems like they're just going to stick with that strategy. Cryogenes was really impressive on the Swain though, so they might potentially consider picking Swain earlier in the draft or banning it away as well. Because whereas Cryogenes does have a lot of prowess on the Vladimir, perhaps they can deal with it a little bit easier than they can deal with the Swain, so we'll see if they change this final ban. But they're going to keep things the same, Vladimir being taken away from Cryogenes. And we'll see what Leftover Lads decides to pick up here in their first pick of the draft. And it's going to be a Camille. And that's the same exact pick that they took first round of last game. And it looks like we're going to get the same exact draft just about, except actually this time Xin Zhao going over to the sides of Guardians of the Rift, that's going to deny that pick away from Honor Jungle. And they're actually going to take Swain as well, so that's going to deny both champions away from Honor Jungle and Cryogenes. So the jungle mid champion's going to be swapping sides this time around. But the question remains, does Leftover Lads have a better answer to the Xin Zhao Swain combo than Guardians of the Rift did? And Garen going to be locked in here. I think that is going to be a placeholder. Likely Honor Jungle not having all the champions available to him, so we'll likely see a reset of the champion select here. And we're going to see Otunix hopping back on that Bard. That's something that he feels like positively influenced the last game, and so they're going to keep that pick. Despite the fact that there are a lot of strong options still on the table for the support role. But that seems to be Otunix's pick of choice at the moment. And Braum is going to be the response for Guardians of the Rift. And that was a pick that they played yet last night. And Dark Quest had a lot of success with it against the Vortex team that we saw. And Concussive Blows, the passive for Braum, is definitely a understated ability, I think, in these 5v5 games. It's a lot of utility, and it can be procced fairly easily multiple times in team fights. Especially since these teams are so coordinated, they have experience playing with one another, so they'll know that they can rely on their teammates to proc those Concussive Blows passive stacks. Scion gonna be the ban actually this time around, so Magic Toenail not able to hop on that champion for a 4th time in a row. That's gonna mean he has to find another answer to this Camille top lane. Unless, of course, they do decide to flex that Camille into the jungle, which is always a possibility. Sivir this time being banned away, and that opens up Spectacular to pick up that Misfortune without being afraid of a response that might include Sivir. But that also allows Nogira to pick up Jinx, which is the AD carry that she might be most comfortable on, actually. So we'll see if she decides to pick up a Jinx here. And it is indeed going to be a Jinx for the emergency sub here for the Leftover Lads. And Jinx plus Bard in bot lane doesn't exactly spell a lot of, I guess, convenience for Leftover Lads. It's a very wonky pairing for sure, and highly reliant on the ability of these individual players to make those picks work out for them. Bard not even having a single lick of hard CC that's reliable. He does have his Cosmic Binding, but it is a skill shot, so it's going to be a pretty high task for him to keep his Jinx alive here in these potential skirmishes and fights. And Misfortune packs a lot of damage in the early game, so it's going to be very difficult for Jinx to stay healthy as well in lane. And we did see Kale and Garen being picked up. Those are 2 placeholders for Leftover Lads, so this is a remake of the Champion Select because we had those placeholders picked. And if you are interested, we do have a second game going on right now. Bad Boys taking on Baby Shark, and that's going to be on our main channel if you're following along with that as well. Definitely welcome you to open up a multi-stream if you would like to. And usually the teams that, yep, thankfully Leftover Lads took the hint, and they're gonna quick ban here. Not gonna wait for the timer to run out. Gonna ban some random champs such as a Mumu, which is a good thing. It's gonna speed up this draft a little bit quicker. All the A champs being banned. And this is because this is a remake of the Champion Select we just finished with the placeholders. So we'll actually get to see the full team comp this time around that Team Leftover Lads has decided to pick up. And so one of those placeholders was actually a Trundle pick, apparently. And it looks like that's going to be a Trundle top lane, and that means that we're going to see a Camille jungle this time around for Honor jungle, aka Psych Chimps. Echo actually, I believe that is a mid lane Echo. But given that they did pick it in the top lane position, it might actually be a top lane Echo. Okay, so it is a top lane Echo, an answer to the Trundle in the top lane. And actually a Fizz going to be Kyrogenesis' pick of choice this time around in the mid lane. So fairly interesting solo lane matchups here. Echo obviously an assassin pick, and it's going to kind of mirror the interaction that they have in the mid lane as well, with an assassin versus a tanky kind of control mage in Swain. And we'll see if both of these assassins in both the mid lane and the top lane are able to put pressure on their opponents early on. It's going to be up to the junglers to assist them in any way that they can, or whether or not we'll see their opposition actually take control of the lane and limit their ability to put pressure on the map. And that really strong combination of Braum plus Misfortune is going to be the selection for Guardians of the Rift this game, and I like that combination. They showed that it worked very well in their series versus Vortex. It has a lot of tools in terms of CC. Braum isn't known for his engages, but he is the type of champ that can set up a nice Misfortune ultimate if they are able to coordinate their ultimates together and hold champions in place for that. And obviously the immobility of both AD carries does open up the possibility for these assassins to get into the back lines and really disrupt them. But actually, I'm wrong. We're actually going to see Honor jungle picking up the Trundle in jungle, so a tank jungle this time around. And that means Camille is actually going to go in the top lane, and as a response, Magic Toenail has taken the Swain for himself this time, and it seems like we're going to get a wonky bit of a lane in the top lane with Swain versus Camille, and double assassins for the mid lane. So this draft turning out to be quite the switch up, quite the strange combination of champions. But I think ultimately this does benefit Magic Toenail in the top lane to have this Swain versus Camille. He does have the range advantage with the auto attacks. He should be able to stay fairly healthy in that top lane versus the Camille. And every time Camille decides to look for a solo kill, Swain should be able to repel that with his own ultimate and a lot of burst damage himself and self-healing. So there should be no worries for him. It's going to be very, very crazy in the mid lane because these two assassin picks are going to be very volatile in their trading patterns, and both junglers going to have to really look out for their mid laners this game, because if either of them fall behind, they essentially become just that much more useless in the team fights. Alrighty, guys. Just about get set here. Almost done with the spectator delay. And if you're just joining us, this is game 2 of Leftover Lads versus the Guardians of the Rift. Guardians having fallen to Leftover Lads in the first game, so they're going to have to try to do their best here to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the way they do that is by winning this next game. The loser of this series will mathematically be eliminated from playoff contention. So both teams have a lot on the line here, having procrastinated a little bit in the earlier parts of the season in terms of picking up wins for themselves. So we're going to look at the runes here for both sides. 2 electrocute mid laners. Jinx taking that fleet footwork. It's going to help her stay a bit more healthy in the laning phase. So I like seeing that. And press the attack for the Trundle jungle this time around. Alright, here we go. We're underway. Opening up with this fancy new intro from Riot Games with the KDA K-pop stars. Last game we did see Guardians of the Rift stack onto the solo brush that Dark Quest is currently in. But this time they're actually spread out.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So both sides spreading out in a near 5 point, so they'll be able to glean that everyone is just about in a 5 point.
Minions have spawned.
Babs and Honor Jungle being spotted out here. Cryogenesis having actually snuck over the wall. Gonna place that Ghost Poro into the brush to the west of red buff. Honor Jungle looking for a chomp here. Is he gonna find it? Nope. So wastes a little bit of mana. Was able to pop this ward down. He's spending a lot of time here in the jungle, wasting his ability to clear faster, but they were able to pop a trinket deep into the red buff here, and that was the work of Cryogenesis. Tunix trying to get some early poke damage on the Bard. So both sides knowing pretty much where the other jungler started. We're going to actually see a ping onto the Krugs as well, and it seems like Leftover Lads is very aware where Xin Zhao is currently. Roxas walking very far. Tasek actually going to face check this bush, and he's in a really tough spot. Going to have to E onto Roxas, and that's going to be first blood going over to Honor Jungle. He takes both buffs as well. Magic Tono trying to flash, trying to root up Roxas, but he wasn't able to, so that's a bit of a wasted flash for him. There was a corrupting pot going for Roxas too, so maybe not taking that into account. There wasn't really much of a way of the Swain finishing off Camille there. So maybe a bit of a misstep from him. But Magic Toenail able to get a lot of damage down currently in the top lane on the Roxas. Babs maybe forgetting the fact that he doesn't have ultimate available this time. He's still level 3. And that means a dead Echo in the mid lane. So, Guardians of the Rift playoff hopes currently crumbling. As we speak here, a loss here would make it impossible for them to get into the playoffs, and Roxas actually looking for an engage on a Magic Toenail. He's flashless, so he really doesn't have any way of making this work. Looks for the root, but not going to find it. And that's him going down. Really falling apart here for for Guardians of the Rift, I should say. And that's 3 kills that Leftover Lads have. Magic Toenail teleporting back into the top lane here. Looks for the root onto Roxas. He's going to find it, but Roxas is quite mobile here, and he is able to hook shot away. Trundle showing up into the bot lane here. They are aware of his presence, though. And the only saving grace, really, is that Guardians of the Rift hasn't yet died in the bot lane. They've died everywhere else, though. So definitely a very good start for Leftover Lads in Game 2 of this series. Ooh. Spectacular walking a little bit too far forward there. Does get stunned up. Is able to get a bit of damage onto Nogueira, though. Taysak looking for a gank here on a Roxas. Roxas does have flash available. Spectator thinks he'll get away, but we're looking at bot lane now. Honor Jungle take it very low. He does have red buff, but is getting burned down by that Ignite, and Dark Quest finishes him off with a last auto attack. Roxas was able to survive in top lane. He did have flash available, did burn it. Spectacular does have his heal and flash available still, so should he be aggressively engaged on by O2 next, he should be able to get out of it. A stun could be his life, though. So it looks like the bot lane of Guardians is going to play under their tower for the next wave, and that's going to allow Nogueira to recall without any punishment. Roxas engaging onto Magic Toenail here. He does have the level advantage, but will he get away? No, Magic Toenail actually taking really low. Kiara Jin is in here just in time. He does have to pop that Ignite. Bard is covering for him in the mid lane, so that roam isn't going to cost him too much. And it does net him his second kill of the game. And it looks like Guardians of the Rift trying to push out this last wave in bot lane. So a lot of action so far. We have seen 5 kills, mainly in the top side of the map. And it's, for the most part, benefited the Leftover Lads in this early stage of the game. Honor Jungle is significantly far behind, though, on CS, and this jungle path by Taysak actually going to be exploited a little bit, and Honor Jungle going to be able to finish off the red buff. Taysak does not know that they're behind him, and he's going to see that red buff on Honor Jungle and know that his red buff's been stolen. Babs looking for the kill onto Fizz. He's not able to find that third passive proc, and it's going to mean that Taysak falls. Babs kiting northward now. He does look for an exit kill on O2nix. Wasn't able to find it quite. Magic Toenail having a lot of difficulty here in the top side. He is 17 CS behind a full level as well, and he's having really difficulty even getting that XP to bring him to level 6. And this is one of the points where, you know, if you get far enough behind trying to get to level 6 before your opponent, then you can just infinitely stay stuck on level 5 and sometimes not even get into experience range. And Honor Jungle doing the smart thing here, exploiting the advantage that they have in topside and trying to zone Magic Toenail off of this next minion wave. He's going to have to actually flash for it. He's trying to get level 6 here. He actually pulls Roxas in, and he's going to get level 6 off of that. That's going to allow him to explode here onto Trundle, and that's a double kill for him. Really nicely played by him. Gets the first kill on Roxas, and that allows him to hit level 6 and easily finish off the Trundle. So, a smart idea by the top side of Leftover Lads, but the execution was definitely not quite enough to take down the top laner of Guardians here, and that's going to mean Swain has just that much more time to scale up here. So we'll definitely have to think about that last play with the double kill in the top lane as one of the most impactful ones if Guardians of the Rift is able to come back in this one. But it's going to be a tough task for them still nonetheless. Kyrogen is actually popping the ult onto Echo. He does have a lot of defensive tools available to him, and he does manage to get out of that situation. Camille roaming down here with her jungler. Honor Jungle and Roxas looking for a bit of counter jungling, a bit of deep vision as well. This puts a lot of pressure onto the mid laner of Guardians of the Rift, and Taysak actually absorbing that, or trying to. Jinx Ult gonna come in here, but it's gonna be blocked by Taysak's ult. Kyrogen is taking a couple of turret shots. Swain actually looking for a roam down here. Vision of Empire not gonna hit anyone, but are going to be able to spot them exiting the jungle. That's a lot of pressure that Roxas and Honor Jungle have still in the top side. They have placed a lot of vision down, so it's going to be very difficult. Actually, ultimates being combined here. Spectacular flashing in to finish off with Tunics here, looking for the last concussive bros proc. They're going to hit it, but Nogira is able to flash and heal away, and under the safety of her turret, stay alive. So bot side here of Guardians of the Rift taking advantage of their early game pressure. We're able to find a kill onto Otunix that time. Magic Toenail with that proc of the Grasp of the Undying. Gonna show off his tankiness. Like another proc of the Grasp. And he's really quite a bully up here now, having completed the Blasting Wand. Still a few gold away from finishing the Rod of Ages. And we expect him to recall for that as soon as he's able to. Bard and Trundle going to show on this vision in the top side here. Xin Zhao is up here, but this is a 3-on-2. Magic Toenail popping the ult. Is Taysak going to help out here? I think Magic Toenail is essentially left for dead, but he's just barely going to stay alive. He's going to flop the ultimate. All the self-healing is not going to be enough, though. Roxas and Honor Jungle flashing away. They make that 3-for-2 power play work for them. And that's a shutdown as well. Oh, Kyrogenic's going to find a... Kyrogenis finds Taysak there, takes him out. So topside advantage going to be still really strong for Leftover Lads this game. Ult going to find Babs. He's going to have to ultimate away. Gets slowed up by Otunix. Sidestep the ultimate. He's going to go down too, though. That's a 3-for-0 essentially. And this is really disappointing for Guardians because they are winning the bot side, but frustratingly enough, not going to be able to... Oh, wow. Ultimate lands onto Nogira. That's going to be spectacular, taking down Nogira. And that's a really strong misfortune now, finishing the Yuma's Ghost Blade. And that was a bit greedy by Nogira to stay that far up. Roxas is going to be teleporting down here to actually save the turret, though. So all this fighting that happens around topside costs Guardians of the Rift a lot of time and energy. Taysak having died 3 times already for his troubles going to topside, which in hindsight he maybe should have avoided. Nothing happening at the moment. We do have Rift Herald that has been up for a few minutes now. Bot and top switching for leftover lads this time. Taysak gonna try to be helping out his AD carry here. We're gonna get 2-on-2. Braum coming in here with a stand behind me. He's gonna knock up Roxas with a nice ultimate, and Spectacular takes out the jungler, or the top laner, excuse me, of leftover lads. This might be a 2-for-0 as Trundle tries to kite away looking for the execute. Vision of Empire just barely gonna miss. This is Honor Jungle looking for the execute, but oh, is he gonna get it? Lots of dodging out, and he's actually gonna get the execute. Oh my gosh. Wow. Magic Toenail unable to hit any of his abilities there on the speedy Trundle, and Braum didn't want to take the kill away, so he didn't manage to stop that from happening, and it just ends up being an execute. So Honor Jungle able to deny some gold away from Guardians of the Rift there. Infernal Drake going to be spawning here. They heard that they heard leftover lads taking that Rift Herald, so they are pretty confident to hang around here. Cryogen is standing on a control ward that he's unable to clear due to the Braum pressure, but now he is able to, so we'll see if Swain does decide to teleport down here. They have popped the Rift Herald in the mid lane looking for a little bit of extra pressure, and that's going to allow the Fizz and the Trundle to take Infernal Drake by themselves. It looks like they're going to surrender that Infernal Drake. They were able to clear out that Rift Herald, though, that Nogira had popped in the mid lane. Roxas engaging here with a numbers advantage. Oh, Misfortune ult. Going to get interrupted by Otunix's ult. And we're going to get a fight breaking out. Is Swain going to teleport down here, or is he just going to let it all unfold? Bab's going to pop the barrier a little bit early. Misfortune getting slowed down by Nogira. Cryogen is coming in for the execute, and he does manage to find it. Taysak does finish him off, though. Magic Toenail having held that teleport for some reason. I guess he just didn't have a place to really teleport in, but he did have a ward behind Raptors that he could have gone to. And I guess not wanting to expend that summoner spell in fear of potentially being bursted down on his own. But that does mean he's rather healthy here to try to take down this mid lane turret. Honor Jungle going to come in here with the pillar. Babs does have ult available. And Taysak actually going to take Honor Jungle down with a nice root from Magic Toenail. Getting slowed up here under turret now. Nogira does have one item. Is fairly strong, but can they turn this around? Actually, Dark Quest actually coming forward with a knight to knock up on Nogira. Taysak taking really low. He does have the ultimate veil. Babs taking down, actually taking down Bard, excuse me. So nice turnaround by Guardians of the Rift there on a nice turnaround from the Braum stun. And Bard just walking a little bit too far forward there, so in the end, it's going to work out really well for Guardians. They're going to get back into this game here. Actually have a gold advantage now with those kills that they picked up, and shutting down Fizz meant a lot, actually. Taysak did pick up that shutdown gold, so not exactly the greatest target to get that shutdown gold, but it does mean a lot of gold for him. And at this point in the game, you want your Xin Zhao to have a lot of pressure, and it's going to allow him to get a little bit tankier. He has picked up that Jarm's Fist with the extra gold. Jinx is still really lackluster in terms of damage as well, so it's going to take a little bit longer for her to ramp up in damage, but at the moment she does just have that single item and a half with the Zeal, if you count that. And Misfortune having the double lethality build at the moment. It's certainly going to pack quite a punch. Actually, something of note is that Cryogenis is actually down about 40 CS in the mid lane. And that has equated to about, well, an even gold difference, despite all the kills that he has. So that's something to take note of as well. How reliable as well is the question that this Bard will be in the mid-game team fights. Will he be able to land his stuns and his ultimates? So that is the question. Swain actually starting to get online here. Has 4 stacks of that Rod of Ages. He actually has an XP advantage now against Roxas. And that's going to help him stay alive and keep his turrets healthy in the side lane. Baron going to be spawning in the next minute and 15 seconds now. Dark Quest taking some damage here for trying to clear out that Trinket Ward. Taysak waiting in the wings here. Vision Vampire does hit on the Roxas. Taysak looking for a little extra damage here. He's going to start this fight off with the ultimate. Nice ultimate though by Roxas. Both stopwatches. Actually, that's going to be Bard ultimate landing down to interrupt the fight. Nogueira free hitting, but he's going to get found out. Babs looking for the stun. Is he going to find it? Braum actually finished off that kill, and Honor Jungle taken really low as well. Otunic's actually about to take it out on the side there, but it looks like he was able to Magical Journey out of the way. Magic Toenail actually going to be taken down, and that's going to be a 3 for 2 going in favor of Guardians of the Rift there. They were able to isolate the backline a little bit better and take out all the members there. But you have to give props to Magic Toenail there for distracting the 2 solo laners of Leftover Lads. He did a lot of work to stay alive that long and allow his team to chase down members of Leftover Lads. Cryogen is looking to actually Protobell in here, and he's going to gift over a life to Taysak. That is definitely not what you like to see from your Fizz. Looking for that greedy extra kill, and Spectacular getting another assist there means he's 4-1-6. He's really strong now. He's going to be able to complete that Duskblade of Drakthar that I think he will build. And potentially start building into his 3rd item as well with a potential component. Braum actually having finished his Zeke's Convergence. It's going to allow his 80 carry to get those crits as well, so something to keep in mind if he does decide to connect with Spectacular. Roxas finishing off a bit of vision control here in the top lane. He is sitting on a Triforce, but hasn't been able to purchase the Merc Treads yet, which I think he needs for these fights. He's getting burned down pretty quickly with all that CC, and actually Nogueira is going to actually be engaged onto here. He has to burn that flash. Bab's going to flash the ultimate from Bard. Is he going to be able to get that 3rd proc and get? He does off of Honor Jungle, but is it enough? He gets the nice kill there by Babs, utilizing his passive to speed up there off of the proc from Trundle, and it allows him to get into range to kill off Nogueira. And there is an Air Drake spawning now. A bit of unfortunate happenstance. The RNG has gone into a little bit of Leftover Lads' favor. That was their 3rd Infernal Drake of this series. So they have the Infernal Drake, but a couple of Air Drakes actually isn't so bad for this comp of Guardians of the Rift. Otunic's looking for the steal, but definitely optimistic chance there. Taysak had the smite available, so Bard was only going to ever get it as long as Taysak messed up, but Taysak did not mess up there. He got the smite down. And we can look at the gold values here. Oh, Spectacular going to face check here. He doesn't have the awareness that Cryogenis is there. He's going to be taken down by him, but Cryogenis is going to get stunned up. And the mid lane and jungle are a little bit in trouble here. Vision Vampire going to hit on the Roxas. Was aiming for Cryogenis, but wow, it looks like actually every member of the Leftover Lads is going to get out of this. So even having those pair of Air Drakes is not going to allow them to speed up in time. Cryogenis did have to burn his flash there, but it was an intelligent flash because it kept him alive. Roxas looking for a kill here, but this is 4 members of Guardians of the Rift. Can they burn him down in time to save Taysak? And yes, they do. So that's Roxas falling again. That's his 4th death of the game, and I believe his what must be double digits now for the season, for the series. And he's having a bit of a difficult time here, staying alive in these fights without having completed Merc Treads. But he is able to complete it this time around. He does complete a Jarm's Fist too, gonna give him a little bit of extra tankiness. And this is Leftover Lads intelligently gaining some vision control over Baron buff. As you can see, it's all gone dark for Guardians of the Rift now. And Magic Toenail not able to really have any good targets to TP into. Is this a Baron being started? No, it is not. But that was a scary moment for Guardians of the Rift because Leftover Lads could have been starting that up. It would have been a little bit risky, but Guardians had no vision over the area, so they had no idea what was going on. And it feels like the momentum of this game is definitely swinging a little bit into Guardians of the Rift's favor now. They have managed to allow that Swain to scale a little bit in the side lane, and Roxas not really able to put the same amount of pressure that he was able to last game in the side lane. Roxas actually getting some nice damage off onto Magic Toenail. Magic Toenail has completed that Zanya's Hourglass though. Both top laners do have teleport. So it could be an explosive Baron fight that we see next fight. Otunix intelligently checks that brush because he knew that they were possibly standing in there. Guardians of the Rift actually looking for a engage here onto Misfortune. Has Roxas bit off a little bit too much than he can chew though. Darkquest gonna get stunned up by the Bard ultimate. Magic Toenail taking really low. He does have Zanya's Hourglass available to him. He's healing quite a bit, but Kyrogenis is able to take out Taysak there, and that's gonna be 3 kills going over to the Leftover Lads there. So nice engage by Roxas there to set up his team to make the most of that. And that came off of a roam from him coming from the bot line. And Magic Toenail did have to expend his teleport there, so he's going to be teleportless for the next few minutes. Taysak's still not alive. They aren't really able to steal this in any way, so if Honor Jungle gets this smite down, this should be Baron going over to Leftover Lads. Otunix trying to keep Babs at bay, but Babs goes unstoppable with that last kill. Roxas taking extremely low. Are they going to smite this? Yes, they are. Roxas just barely getting out, but they are able to deny one Baron buff away. Babs pops the ultimate. Jinx going to get stunned up here. Babs going to finish off Trundle, and that's going to be a 2 for 2 there at the end of the Baron fight. Is Spectacular going to get in here? He's not going to be able to interrupt Rexus's back, but at least Guardians are able to take away 2 Baron buffs from Leftover Lads. Shutdown Gold did go over to Camille there when he was able to finish off Echo. Alrighty, so we're gonna get a dragon spawning here. It's a 3rd air drake of the game, but it's gonna go over to Leftover Lads this time. Noguera, having completed her Infinity Edge now, does a lot of damage. So she is a great source of damage in these team fights and something that they're gonna have to take care of. Baron buff as well, still on the side of Leftover Lads. This is their 3rd Baron of this series, and it's allowing them to knock down these structures very easily. Not a lot of wave clear on the side of Guardians of the Rift. And that's sort of the price you pay for playing Echo in the mid lane and Misfortune bot lane. Taysak looking to engage here on the tanky front line of Honor Jungle. Magic Toenail zoning out Noguera. It's going to be a bit of a 1v1 for there. On the side, we see Babs going in alone. Taysak does take out Honor Jungle eventually, and Babs was actually able to get out of there alive. Roxas looking for a re-engage. He's going to pop that ultimate onto the Swain. He just finish off Dark Quest there. Spectacular trying to flash away. Kyrogenis getting in the backline. That's going to be Noguera hitting all the damage. That's going to be a double kill for her. Can Echo finish off this Fizz? Not quite able to get into range there, but boy, are they going to re-engage here? Babs doesn't have ult available. It does get the stun off. Is he going to be able to finish off Noguera? Yes, he is. He's trying to kite backwards here. And Roxas does miss the hook shot, but he is able to finish him off with a nice team at proc. Are they going to be able to finish this inhib off in time? Dark Quest is going to be the only member alive for the moment. Taysak actually going to be respawning as well. Roxas trying to stay for this last inhib, and looks like he's going to not quite able to get it. Dark Quest with the nice Braum shield there does keep that inhib alive. And that is Baron buff expiring on the side of Leftover Lads. But it was a successful usage of the Baron buff. They were able to get 2 inhib turrets and 1 inhib in the bot lane. So, well coordinated by them. But Guardians do live to fight another day here. At least for the next few minutes until Baron spawns. And if they can capture that Baron, they will be able to extend this game even farther. But it's going to be, like I said earlier, a very difficult time for them to hang on here. Babs actually having a bit of a gold advantage in the mid lane at the moment. Even though Fizz has all those kills. But everywhere else, it's the Leftover Lads who have the gold advantages. Guardian proccing there. Roxas looking for an engage, finds it on the Spectacular, gonna get the ult down. Spectacular taking incredibly low by that hook shot. But he was able to get off a little bit damage before he died. Bromstun just barely gonna get proc there, but Magic Toenail has to block the Zanya's Hourglass, and that's gonna be him falling down. Roxas getting a double kill here, looking for a third or fourth. Bromwell gonna put Braum into stasis here, and that's only 3 members of Guardians of the Rift alive, and that's going to be a second Nexus turret falling here. Leftover Lads looking to take this series, and it's going to be them going 2-0 on the series. That's going to keep their playoff hopes alive, and unfortunately for Guardians of the Rift, going to knock Guardians out of playoff contention. So GG's. So, recapping a bit on the series here, we saw Leftover Lads come out really strong in the first game. They were able to take that first game and finish off the series here 2-0 in the second game. And a pretty inspired effort, actually. This allows them to hold on to a chance of making the playoffs. Obviously contingent on how Vortex and Bad Boys do in their series for the last 2 weeks, but it does knock Magic Toenail and all members of Guardians of the Rift out of playoff contention, unfortunately for them. But it was a valiant last-ditch effort from them. They were able to take down Vortex last night and make this a bit of a exciting finish to the Season 6 of Prophecy Cup. Lots of damage coming out from Roxas in the top lane. Nogira getting online with her Infinity Edge and attack speed items as well. Was able to contribute a lot to those last few team fights in the end game. And even though Babs was able to top the damage charts for both teams, wasn't quite able to find the targets as plentifully as he'd like. He is just a single target champion for the most part. Echo not having a huge amount of area effect damage, so even though he is able to do that much damage, not quite enough for him and his team. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, get the slides set up. But I'm going to pull someone in for a bit of an interview if anyone's still around. So just give me a second.
Hey, pretty baby, am I in your way? 'Cause you walked out so fast yesterday. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna.
Alright guys, it looks like Leftover Lads have signed off for the night, so we're not going to get an interview. But I really appreciate everyone sticking around for this match. We're going to update the standings tonight to reflect the matches from tonight. And yeah, definitely stay tuned for the last remaining games. We're going to have, I think, 6 remaining games still left to be played. And there's just 3 more days left in the season, so definitely stay tuned and have a good night.
No, I don't think you're here to stay. So tell me what you want, tell me how you want it. Tell me all the reasons that you're running away. I don't think you're here to stay. No, I don't think you're here to stay. No, no, no. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Yeah. I just wanna be with you. Yeah, I just wanna be with you. I just wanna dance all night. Forget my problems, I might go insane. I don't really give a damn what they say. And now you know it. I feel like you're lying. Trying to be real, but you seem so fake. I'm so you know